Without further ado, I am really happy to present. If you look at their work, you'll probably think they're two of the craziest people in the business. I would call them the enfant terrible of motion design here in Vienna. But they're actually two of the nicest guys I know, and I'm happy to call them my friends. Please, a big welcome to Freudie and Matthias of Bounty Studio.
Just had to switch the laptop. Yeah, nice to be here. Nice that you all showed up that early. And yeah, just give us a minute.
Okay, that's us. Hi.
Hi. Wow. Yeah, we are super happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation. And yeah, we would like to talk a bit about our journey and where we started, how it went, and where we are today. And especially the topic of the Pixel is playtime is over, but for us,
we disagree totally.
Yeah, totally disagree. And so our talk is called, how is it called? But we love playtime because it's super important, and yeah. So that's us. It's Erika. She joined us last year. Me and Freudie, and yeah, we are a small animation studio in Vienna that are Instagram handles, by the way, if you wanna stalk us and see our projects. They are pretty different. We got some different styles, but yeah, maybe you like it. But let's just hop in. So that's our latest showreel, a new one. I think we'll drop it in December, hopefully. And yeah, but let's have a look.
Our focus is on art direction, illustration, 2D animation, 3D animation, motion design. So we basically do a lot of stuff, and we basically try to provide a full service pipeline for clients. So if somebody approaches us, we can say, okay, we make everything from concept to final product. Yeah, we sometimes need help. If that's the case, we usually are joined by copywriters or somebody from a sound studio. Yeah. And we also do a lot of other stuff, like this one. So we started directing and writing concepts, drawing storyboards, character design, particle simulations, also sound design a little bit, but also the not so funny side, like production and project management, payrolls, taxes, and also vacuum cleaning.
Yes.
which brings us to the serious side of life now. We get down to business, because playtime is over. Not. We love playtime, and actually playtime is one of the most important things for us. It's a frame to try things out, to experiment, to grow, groom your style, and prepare for future client projects. And actually playtime was one of the first folders we created on our server back in 2017. And yeah, the story where, yeah, when we started is going to be the next.
Yeah. So how did it all started? Of course, with playtime. We two met each other in 2008 at the Grafische in Vienna, and that's the two of us, I think, partying in some Viennese club. So we did 2 years of multimedia, and it was fun. We learned a lot, like stuff like Flash, you know, the evil brother of Animate, you know, and filming with DV cams, and if somebody of you needs a DVD menu, we don't do that anymore. Yes, and so everything at once, but yeah, we tried to get some focus on some topics, so we did a lot of 3D, I think, back then, photography, filming, yes. But suddenly, it was 2010, 2 years were over, and the Grafische was over. And so what now? And for me, it was get a job, bro, because, you know, you have to earn some money. And so I had to do my first showreel, you know. It was 2010, but I'm not ashamed to show it to you, but please be kind.
1, 2, 3.
Playtime stuff, just stuff that I did for experimenting beside of school, because yeah, you have to make your own projects. And I don't know if they're here, the guys from Friendly Fire. I sent that to them, but they didn't reply, but it's okay. I'm over it. But I got my first job. It was at Naked, and it was a small film production, but I think we talk about that a bit later, because what have you done?
I had a different approach. After the Grafische, back in 2011, club visuals were a big thing, so I tried to do that a bit. Together with friends, I founded a visual arts collective, Lampenschirm, it was called, and we did a lot of club visuals and mapping, sculptures, so projections were a big thing back then. We also took part at the Soundframe Festival at MAC back in 2014. Yeah. We also did a lot of music videos. there was still a lot to learn. And we also did some small client projects, but yeah, it wasn't very good paid, and which led me then to 2012 when we met again at Naked.
Yeah, and we actually sat again next to each other, what we have done in school before, so we become colleagues. And yeah, we learned a lot about animation, film production, Flash again, and did a lot of banners. And but that was kind of a thing to learn, like motion design with Flash. But yeah, we hated it, but we learned a bit. And so no banners, but let's see what we've done there.
Wie bitte?
Wir sind viel kleiner als die anderen. Viel kleiner.
TV-Media. Mir geht nicht. Echt nicht.
Yeah, it was pretty 2013, but we went on and Naked became part of Vice International, and so we did a lot of documentaries about different kind of people and topics, and we met from sprayers to punks, stoners, even Nazis, but it was fun, we had a good time. And here's a teaser.
Wir rasieren da nicht die Schädel ab die ganze Zeit.
Hinter mir sieht man das Siegesdenkmal der Faschisten.
Wir sind hier in Zürich-Altstetten vor dem Kochareal.
Also mir war es auf jeden Fall immer ein Ersatz der Familie.
Wenn ich jetzt in 5 Jahren da wieder herkommen würde, dann wäre da kein Eis.
Unaufhaltbar.
Yeah, so that was a teaser for one season of West Alps. There were four shows, like in each half year. It was pretty successful back then in Austria, and yeah, but I think they are not online anymore. And besides that, we did ads, of course, like the clients getting bigger and bigger. So yeah, it was fun sometimes, not always, but yeah, some stuff from back then. Yes, but suddenly our mood get oida, because it was like big projects and stuff, but yeah, we were like just doing cutting for branded content and making subtitles, doing social assets in all formats, but there wasn't much animation left because bigger stuff, getting to bigger studios, not intern, and yeah. So 2017, for us, it was time to change, because
all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, you know?
So in 2018, we started Bounty Studio, and with like combined 13 years of agency life, we learned a lot of stuff, and It was. We of course met a lot of very important young people that are now like spread over Austria, Vienna, and they are now like partners, friends, even clients. And yes, after we did all that legal stuff that we have to do, making a new company, like that, all the works you have to do and sheets you have to sign, we had to make another show reel, and it was like with not really a lot of agency stuff. We worked a bit beside the agency for ourselves, and so we decided just to put our stuff in there and nothing from the company.
So we said playtime is over, but we said fuck that. Hello playtime. So back in 2017 actually, we created this playtime folder, and it grew since then to, I don't know, 300 subfolders, so we had a lot of playtime since then. And we want to show you some of these playtime projects. Like the very first one was a payment notification for a client who didn't pay the bill for a few months. So, yeah. It was all very small, it started small, but we had always this funny part in our DNA, and so let's see.
So, also, was ist mit der Kohlen? Ja, was ist mit der Kohlen? Okay, aber was ist mit der Kohlen?
Ja, richtig. Ich komme gleich zur Sache, Mr. Warner.
Das klingt schon viel besser.
The clients were friends from the agency, so yeah, they completely understood. My first big project was ABCF ships. I tried to explain a video, kind of, to explain the nautical words for people who didn't understand them. Yeah.
We had a lot of fisher jokes going on, and so it was like it's
even the harbor and
yeah. It's just a teaser, so the whole video is a bit longer. But
yeah, it's on our website, and I'll just show you the teaser real quick. So I made the 26 short videos to explain things like Donaudampfschiff, Kapitän, who is this first guy with the wine glass, obviously, and other things like engine room and whatnot. And yeah, I wasn't ever really into type design or anything, so I didn't make a ABC of fonts or so, but these little videos. I wasn't really experienced back then, so I did everything in After Effects with shape layers, which I I cannot recommend. Learn Illustrator if you want to do that. And yeah. And then one day, it really got hairy with our playtime projects because Inni introduced emojis.
Yeah, made a few funny, fluffy emojis, like this one. That was the first. Yeah, and it was pretty fun to play around with these guys. And they, yeah, I wasn't like regularly doing them, but if I had time and wanted to do on a more, I don't know, I started like 6 years ago or so, and here's a small collection of them. I mean, I was a big fan of that daily render stuff that was like from people, of course, and I just wanted to make some small projects that I can do within a day that are not that much work but still fun. And so there were that emojis, were like hundreds of them, and I just could pick one, and they're easy to model, they are easy to texture. And of course, they're fun to animate, and of course I wanted to play around with that hair dynamics in cinema. And the funny thing was, one day I got some fan art from India. It was Gala, and yeah, he just tagged me on his recent post, and they revealed my first one, and that was super weird, but in a good way. Because yes, it seems like I really had inspired somebody to do something, and that was pretty cool. And he's still into 3D, and he's constantly improving his skills, and yeah, it's fun. And at some point we started our Giphy, where we put all the emojis and other animations up, and it gained some views. I think we are at 1.3 billion. Well, not that bad. So if you want to use them in your stories, just share Bounty Studio, emoji, or Freudi JPEG. Yes. Let's hear now.
Yeah, after the hairy guys, fully dressed characters, it's time to get naked again with this little video.
Wir sind noch eine Familie. Wir sind wirklich eine Familie. Da kann sich jeder zu mir setzen, jeder zu mir kommen. Nur er muss sich genauso anziehen, wie wir uns ausziehen. Und ich glaube, das ist korrekt.
Er kann kochen, er kann tanzen. Die Jungen wollen nur bumsen und gehen arbeiten und dann kommen sie zum Bumsen und dann gehen sie wieder.
Ich verwöhne sie gern, sie ist die Baroness und ich heiße nicht nur Jubel wie der Johann.
Er mag dann einzeln anders kaufen. Dann werde ich tätowieren. Tätowieren, das gefällt mir.
Ja, wieso?
Ja, ich bin so leid, das weißt du.
Meine persönliche Meinung ist, Esel muss Esel bleiben. Esel muss sauber bleiben. Esel muss lebenswert bleiben. Und Esel muss sich aussehen, dass man herfährt. Und schön, dass man Leute sieht, wo man sagen kann.
Die Sendung heißt bitte Donauinsel.
Nein, das interessiert mich nicht.
Insel. Verpiss dich bitte.
So since documentaries were such a big part of our DNA, I kind of backtracked a bit and animated this Elisabeth T. Spira video, which some of you may know. It's pretty legendary about the Donauinsel in Vienna. And it's so pop culture now in Vienna. Everybody knows it, and I tried to get the essence from her hour-long video compressed into this 1:30, and it also was done with shape layers in After Effects. Oh my God. Yeah, couldn't recommend again. Yeah.
I'm sure you know that 36 Days of Type got the Insta challenge to make one typeface each day, one character each day, and during Corona I decided to make a fashion edition of them, and because we've been in Prague and there was a talk about Marvelous Designer, it's like a program where you can create cloth simulations, and it was like, pretty cool. And so I decided during lockdown, I started in the office, but then I had to go back home, and there was just that 12-year-old Mac Pro. Wasn't the best machine for doing class simulations, but somehow it worked. But I just made 26, I let the numbers away. But it was pretty fun to make and to explore a new program and learn something new. So that's my ABC. Toilet paper was a thing back then.
So my next project was coming out of the 100th lockdown in 2021. I made a music video for friends. It's totally not Corona related, but
and done in Illustrator.
Yeah, I learned something.
Ich hab gelernt, dass alle Menschen gleich sind. und uns fallen nur Melodien ein, wenn die Sonne nicht mehr scheint. Man lernt sich auch erst kennen, wenn man weint. Und wir lernen auch erst fliegen, wenn wir wissen, wie man schwimmt. Und wir lügen gern darüber, wer wir sind. Und auf die Straßenbahnen ziehen ihre Schneisen, weil alle wollen sie immer nur wohin. Keiner hat mehr Freude am Verweilen, jeder sucht im Finden seinen Sinn. Und auch der Chef schreit nur aus der Verzweiflung, weil er so zumindest irgendetwas spürt. Auf jede Hochzeit war dann immer eine Scheidung, weil wer zufrieden ist, den Antrieb schnell verliert. Um uns fallen nur Melodien ein, wenn die Sonne nicht mehr scheint. Man lernt sich aber erst kennen, wenn man weint. Und wir lernen auch erst fliegen, wenn wir wissen, wie man schwimmt. Und wir lügen gern darüber, wer wir sind. Die Taube auf der Straße hat das Auto nicht gesehen. Sie ist geflogen und gelandet und ist hin. Ein ganzes Leben nur Drogen, dort wo keine Menschen sind. Und irgendjemand hebt sie auf und wo sie stehen. Und ich sehe nichts und ich höre nichts und ich weiß nicht, wer ich bin. Ich wollte fliegen, bin gestrandet irgendwie. Ein ganzes Leben nur hier unten auf der Suche nach dem Sinn. Und irgendjemand nimmt mich ein, bevor ich stehe. Und die Taube auf der Straße hat das Auto nicht gesehen. Die ist geflogen und gelandet und ist weg.
Yeah, as you can see, it featured the video featured a very large amount of characters, and yeah, my goal was to get as much detail in the scenes as possible, but also keep everything as manageable as possible, and catch the flair of Vienna and have fun animating everything, and also try new techniques like. Here I tried the first time the Duik 2D camera, which is pretty awesome, and yeah, combine vector ills with some texture work. I don't know if that was so obvious to see, but yeah, I tried it anyway. So my next project was a kind of lockdown related. And during all the lockdowns, every Monday I listened to FM4 Davidek, which is a DJ radio show hosted by Christian Davidek, and it features contemporary club music and electronic music and similar stuff. And he repeats a jingle all the time, and I got inspired to animate this jingle, and I'll show you. Really quick.
The thing about music is there's always something new to discover. Sometimes it's music that was made 5 minutes ago by somebody. And sometimes it's music that might have been made 500 years ago, but if you just find it that day, then it's new to you, you know. But I think the real key to it is having things that lift your human spirit up and make you feel better, or make you feel excited, or make you feel. And that's why music is one of, really, without question, the greatest art form that there is.
FM4 Davidek.
So I finally made some font. Tried to get over that fear. Real quick to the process. So I just ripped the sound off the internet and animated everything. Sent it to Christian. He was really happy to have it, because as a matter of fact, after finishing the video, his 15th anniversary came up, so this was the perfect occasion and perfect birthday gift. So my tip for you is just reach out to people, be open, and see what happens. Which leads us to our next chapter.
Yes, hello clients, let's play. Yeah, of course we also have to do some client work, and yeah, so just to showcase a few of them. Like in the first year, we luckily had the opportunity to also make our first TV commercial. It was for mobile company Bob and for Christmas. And the agency, Demner Jack Bergman, asked us to do some frame-to-frame animation, what we didn't really do before, but we didn't tell them. And so we teamed up with the Hive Artists Studio, who are great illustrators, and they made like one style frame for each scene, and we made like all the animation in between, so you want to call it.
Weihnachten mal ohne Langbart. Extra Bob mit 20 GB und unbegrenzten Minuten und SMS für geschmeidige 18,90 €. Inklusive gratis Huawei Mate 20 Lite. Jetzt nur auf Bob.at. Und jetzt können alle Extra Bob-Kunden nicht verbrauchte Daten einfach mitnehmen.
Yeah, it was a big thing for us in the first year, and we could afford some new nice tablets. That was great.
Yeah, for nearly all of 2020 we worked on greener linien. Not the whole time, but it was a huge part of 2020. It took quite a while. We started with different styles, like this one, which is kind of Art Deco inspired, which wasn't really the way to go for the client, so we tried something else. And something else. And yeah, that was the style the client decided. And they wanted to mimic Yellow Submarine. And yeah, it gladly ended up a little bit more colorful than this one. So that's the video.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were greener? Then we wouldn't have to wait so long. And wouldn't it be nice to live together in the kind of world where we belong? You know it's gonna make it that much better when we can say goodnight and stay together. Wouldn't it be nice if we could wake up in the morning when the day is new, and after having spent the day together, hold each other close the whole night through. Happy times together we've been spending. I wish that every night was never ending. Oh, wouldn't it be
So to give you a little bit of in-depth view, the agency provided us with a basic storyline, and we illustrated and animated every scene. And after working for several months on it and waiting for several months, and the client decided what not to do, it was suddenly very hectic and had to be finished. So yeah.
As ever.
So we had to cut some corners and get it done real quick. Yeah. I think it could have been a little better. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we became an award-winning studio. we won two awards, one for animation and one for illustration at the Creative Club Austria competition. which was really, really, really surprising for us because we didn't win anything at all until then. And then the next big project came up from Matthias.
Yes, Forum Recyclat is like a federation of different plastic producing companies, and they wanted like an explainer film on how to recycle plastic in a proper way to keep all in cycle and not just throw them away and have to burn them, just to recycle. And so did a little particle sim. I also have to say it was like a project that ran for almost a year, and then in the last month it has to be done, and I was like, it was June and I had no summer that year, but yeah, it also could have been a bit better, but you know, deadlines.
Reden wir ganz offen über Plastik. Denn so viel steht fest. Plastik spielt eine enorm wichtige Rolle in unserem Leben. Es schützt unsere Lebensmittel, erleichtert den Alltag und ermöglicht Innovationen, die unser aller Leben verbessern. Doch durch achtlosen Umgang mit Plastik und ohne Recycling wird Plastik zur Bedrohung für die Umwelt. Häufig werden Plastikverpackungen leider im Restmüll entsorgt. Diese werden dann verbrannt und stehen dem Recycling nicht mehr zur Verfügung. Oder noch schlimmer, sie landen in der Natur und bleiben dort für Jahrhunderte liegen. Und das wollen wir alle nicht. Wir, das ist das Forum Recyclat. Ein Zusammenschluss von Händlern, Herstellern, Entsorgungs- und Recyclingunternehmen, Verpackungsherstellern und der Politik, die gemeinsam neue, nachhaltige Wege gehen. Weg von der Wegwerfwirtschaft hin zur Kreislaufwirtschaft. Aber was bedeutet Kreislaufwirtschaft? Kreislaufwirtschaft bedeutet, dass bestehende Materialien, zum Beispiel Plastikverpackungen, so lange wie möglich wiederverwendet, recycelt und in neuen Produkten eingesetzt werden. Wir Mitglieder des Forum Recyclat achten darauf, dass Plastikverpackungen im Kreislauf bleiben. Dazu wird die gebrauchte Plastikverpackung im Recyclingprozess zuerst sortiert, zerkleinert und gewaschen, dann zu Granulat verarbeitet. Diese kleinen Kügelchen, auch Recyclat genannt, sind der Rohstoff für völlig neue Verpackungen. Damit aus Verpackung wieder Verpackung wird, ist es enorm wichtig, dass wir alle unseren Müll richtig trennen. So bleibt alles immer im Kreislauf und das ist gut für die Umwelt. Wir, die Mitglieder des Forum Recyclat, werden gemeinsam noch nachhaltiger wirtschaften. Wir werden noch mehr Verpackungen recyclingfähig machen und recyceln. Wir werden so viel Recyclingmaterial wie möglich einsetzen und die Qualität des Recyclingmaterials verbessern. Wir denken im Kreislauf, damit sich die Welt gesund weiterdreht. Unterstützen Sie uns. Gemeinsam recyceln und gemeinsam Werte schaffen.
Quite a length, but you know, it got us another one. We won the Silver Award for on the International Iconic Film Days. Wow. We were nominated for a Staatspreis Wirtschaftsfilm, but didn't get that one, but it was a fun party. Innocent was another client. Last year. We teamed up with old friends from our agency, and they split up and make their own. They call it Tochter now, and we made for Innocent the Wiesenwildnis spot for the Dach region, Germany, Austria, Switzerland.
Mutter Natur hat immer gesagt, man kann nie genug Wiesen. Und darum gibt es jetzt die große Innocent-Wiesenwildnis. Leider sind in den letzten Jahrzehnten 80% aller Streuobstwiesen Europas verschwunden. Jetzt aber nur nicht den Kopf hängen lassen. Wir von Innocent haben es uns zur Aufgabe gemacht, Streuobstwiesen zu schützen, der Natur ihren Raum zurückzugeben und so zu helfen, dem Klimawandel entgegenzuwirken. Aber was ist eigentlich eine Streuobstwiese? Hier der Wikipedia-Eintrag dazu. Eine Streuobstwiese ist das Gegenteil eines englischen Rasens. Eine Wiese mit hochstämmigen Obstbäumen und Lebensraum für mehr als 5000 Tier- und Pflanzenarten. Hier geht es richtig wild zu. Ja, auf Streuobstwiesen findet man alles, was die Natur so hergibt. Sie sind eine Art Big Apple. Ein Ort, der niemals schläft, mit unterirdischen Maulwurf-Metros und Lebewesen in allen Farben und Formen. Damit zählen sie zu den artenreichsten Lebensräumen Mitteleuropas. Wusstest du, dass sie Streuobstwiesen täglich fürs Klima einsetzen? Sie fahren vielleicht nicht mit dem Fahrrad zur Arbeit, aber sorgen durch tonnenweise CO2-Bindung dafür, dass wir richtig gut durchatmen können.
Yeah, we have to speed up a bit, so you've got the idea, I think. And also that was the first big project from Erika, who did like almost the whole spot, so big shout outs to her. And yeah, we did like storyboard, animatic, illustration, animation, sound design, and yes. And yeah, maybe we move on to this one.
Yeah, it was for a project for a bank, Erste Bank. The projects were always really cool, but sometimes one day we got really surprised as they called us in, and it was kind of the beginning of a joke as they referenced this video, and it was for a children's contest, and yeah, we dialed it back like 1,000 times, and yeah, came up with something fun.
Wer den Cent nicht wert, ist den Euro nicht wert. Marie, Kohle, Flocken, Heu, Kröten. Wir haben hier kein Geldschatzer. Das Geld kommt erst im Bankomat.
Neue Sprüche zum Thema Geld braucht es nicht. Deine Ideen aber schon. Mach mit bei Kadir, dem Preis für junge...
Okay. So we worked with Robert who did copywriting, and we knew him from back from the Vice days, and he always has a very funny approach to work, and yeah, which is always a plus because the final result is funny, and you have also fun while animating it, and yeah, that's double the fun, I guess. Okay, we skipped that. The next big project for the same client was the Future Choices Challenge, which was again Ines' part.
Yeah, it was like a small 3D project. It wasn't, not that big, but it was all about memes.
Flexen oder sparen? Das Leben stellt uns alle vor viele wichtige Entscheidungen. Noch schnell neue Sneaker bestellen? Oder denkst du heute schon an die Pensionsvorsorge? So viele wichtige Entscheidungen, die man im Leben treffen muss. Wohin führt deine Reise? Mit der Future Choices Challenge findest du...
Yes. Yeah, that was a pretty fun project. It went a bit crazy in the comments because all the people were commenting like, "Oh, that are pretty boomer memes." But it worked pretty well. They used it this year again, but yeah, so I think it worked out pretty good. So make sure your work is good enough that the clients use it over and over again, but include usage rights in your offer. No, it's not that bad. So the last part is about another side project, and yes, for the English speaker or somebody who just speaks English, it's gonna be hard because it's the Landjäger Kürzestfilm Festspiele, and it's like Cannes, just shorter, like really short, because it's a festival about 12-second long films, and we mean exactly 12 seconds. And in 2014, a magazine, print magazine, asked us to join the team for the 12th anniversary, because they had the idea to, on the 12th anniversary, make a film festival about 12-second long movies. And yeah, so we helped them since back then and did the first trailer. So we wanted to make a really low-key festival where everybody can send their movies, make their own movies. So the equipment, for example, shouldn't be a problem. So we decided to make that film on an iPhone 4S. It was the industry standard back then. That one, yeah. It was about MacGyver. In 2016, we made another one, and you know, it's always these teasers were like fun for us to experience, experiment around, and so we came up with that Fargo-inspired low-poly animation. Yes, and then we had like a break and a pandemic break, and
but yeah, we came back strong in 2022. Actually, bigger, better, faster, stronger. We made a trailer again, which I'll show you next. Then we did posters, 3D printing. We actually 3D printed the trophies and did all the live production at Gartenbaukino, which is the biggest cinema in Vienna, and that was a blast. But we'll show you the trailer real quick, which also Erika did. Yeah.
Länger ist nicht besser. Die Landjäger kürzest Film Festspiele.
So I mentioned the trophy. This was the trophy before the 3D printing process. It was actually a pork sausage, a Landjäger, nailed to a piece of wood and covered in gold color. And yeah, it wasn't sufficient over the years because it was a bit gross and it still lived inside the color coating. And so we decided to 3D print it. Thanks to Fabrizio, who 3D printed it, and thanks to Erika, who modeled it, yeah, and and made this little making of video. It's all done in Blender, and the color is from Obi. So the festival was a real blast. The Gartenbaukino was packed until the last seat, and yeah, we want to show you the winner film of 2022, which is from Rosa Hirze, and it's called Trust Issues. Last but not least, we want to take the opportunity to mention that it's now your turn. The Landjäger Kürzestfilm Festspiele return in 2023, so please be part of it. Send us your films. Here's a QR code if you want to scan it to the website. Just to keep in mind that it's a real cool project. You can win a lot of cool stuff, like this year we had a Leica camera as a main prize. You can also win beer or even cheese. Yeah. the admission is free, and
it's a fun evening.
Yeah,
it's completely with a band and a lot of drinks. It's it's a nice evening.
And it's also a good opportunity to start a small project and see your outcome on the big screen. And yeah, I think that's a reward. So to wrap things up, thank you, Pixel.
It was nice to be here.